Welcome to CoralVue's Sump room. Now, this is an amazing setup that David has here and we have here at CoralVue. If you've seen our livestock video of the front of the tank, we have a 1,200-gallon system that showcases a ton of beautiful coral and fish. But this is what keeps that system going. Now, in this room, we have a lot of gizmos and gadgets that are available directly from us. However, what's interesting about this setup is, in reality, there is no commercial product in here. These are all consumer-grade products that you could, in fact, have at home on your system. However, what we implemented here is a very designed system, and a shout out to Sam from Wetwork for engineering this masterpiece for us. In this room, we have a custom Reef Octopus Sump that holds a lot of filtration and more water volume. Currently, we have socks running, and these holes are also cut out perfectly for clear filters, automatic filter rollers. We had carbon in here and Reef Octopus meaty reactors. And this is the Reef Octopus XP8000. This is a recirculating skimmer powered by a bubble blaster, but also has a Varios 8 as the feed pump on there. You can see it's producing a lot of skimmate from the poopers that are in the display in there. But every day we can pull that out and clean that when we need to. It's also protected by hydros with a skimmer sensor. One of the most popular accessories for hydros. If that skimmate gets to that level, the skimmer is going to shut down so we don't overflow, but also let us know so we can get this cleaned out. Now, that's one thing that David wanted to make sure. We want to have an area to where he can prep food, where he can clean things, where he can do his work. And that's where this custom tabletop comes in with the red to match Reef Octopus, a brand that we're really proud of. We're celebrating over 20 years relationship with them this year. And we're super happy for that. It's also good to know that Reef Octopus comes with a 5-year warranty on all of their pumps. So a really terrific brand that we're happy to stand by. And we see the results in here. We love the red. And we carry that over to here where we could see more plethora of product of what it takes to run a system like this. Dimax food we have ready to reef for our quarantine system so we could dose that. Microbacter 7 from Brightwell, Fauna Marin's full line of coral dust, LPS food, food energizer, Dino X, and the works, along with all of the trace elements. Of course, this tank is tested every single month from an IceCap test from Fauna Marin. And when we get those results back, we have trace elements that we're able to dose to ensure all parameters are staying as stable as possible. From zinc, beryllium, nickel, molybdenum, manganese, iron, nickel, chromium, cobalt, cupramine, copper, beryllium, fluoride, strontium, and even more. Fauna Marin has all of the trace elements available to ensure that stable parameters. And of course, a 1,200-gallon system requires a lot of muscle from a pump to ensure water is getting back to the system. Down below, we have 2 Abyzz A400s. One is the return pump, but we also have a secondary as a redundant, but also feeding our chiller on the outside of our building. So this pump runs through the foundation and goes outside to a chiller about 50 feet away because we're in Louisiana and it gets warm here. So we had to ensure that. We've also made sure that we have a kick plate installed. So that way we don't actually kick this pump or anything and it is protected. But 2 Abyzz A400s are powering this thing. As we come around, we can see some of the brains of the operation here. This is the Hydros control board. We have X4s, we have X3s, XP8s. We have our Abyzz drivers. This is the brains of the operation, but you will see that we have hydros sprinkled all across in different clusters of the collective, ensuring all aspects of the aquarium are being monitored. We even have our coral quarantine here and our coral acclimation. You can see some of our clams here that are going to do well on here, but we have angelfish in the main display, so we want to keep some of the LPS clams and whatnot in this system, but we also acclimate and do a coral quarantine on this system. Again, powered by independent Reef Octopus sumps and filters with Reef Octopus Essence 130 skimmers below. With a built-in ATO, this system is super easy to maintain. And when we want to do water changes, it's very, very simple. One thing David prides himself on is how he worked with Sam to ensure maintenance is going to be super easy, as David maintains this system by himself. So we want to make sure it was incredibly easy. Now, there's two outputs right here, and if we look below the system, we will actually see a drain down there. The drain system allows us to do a water change incredibly fast. By opening the drain, we already have RODI and saltwater free mix. With large pumps, we can do about a 400-gallon water change in about 5 minutes via the drain and the large pumps that we have. And when it's time to do a water change, David wanted to make sure it was incredibly simple in here. This is our RO mixing area. This is salt water, and that is our RO water. We also have our hydro station right here to monitor that, where we can monitor TDS of our RO water. We can look out for leaks on either system. We can ensure temperature in our ready-to-go salt water is ready to go. And Hydros is monitoring and controlling this aspect of the aquarium to ensure automation at every level. When it's time to mix salt water, we're able to open this right up, pull the container out, and do the work that we need to do, add the salt in there, clear it out, and then when it's ready to go, we can push it right back in. On a 1,200-gallon system, it takes a lot to maintain alkalinity, calcium, and magnesium. To start, we have our calcium reactor, a CR250. As we pull this out, we're able to maintain it. We can see our bubble count, which is currently off, but we can ensure that calcium and alkalinity are being provided to the system. We also rely on Fauna Marin's balling method to ensure those adjustment doses as we go along to ensure stability. On a 1,200-gallon system, nutrient control is incredibly important, and David has integrated a sulfur reactor driven from a modified calcium reactor. As water is slowly moving through the system, the sulfur reactor breaks down nitrates along the way, and output is a very low nutrient effluent. On top of the platform, not only do we have an amazing view of this system, but we also have a top-down view of the aquarium. We can see right now we are illuminated by 12 Philips CoralCares in the alternating domino pattern. And as we can see, this modular system is able to be updated anytime with any new modular light we may want, but also on a winch system so we can raise or lower the system at any given time. Also, while we're up there, we can get a good view of the IceCap UV sterilizers that we had integrated into our fish quarantine system that's currently offline. But overall, gives a great viewpoint of how every inch of this room has been engineered to showcase our consumer-grade products that are available to you at home, while implementing it in a system that makes it easy on a 1,200-gallon system. All of these products are consumer-grade and able to be purchased at a local fish store near you or a CB-authorized online retailer. Thanks for stopping by.